So 6 o'clock, we're going to call the meeting in order to the Jeff Davis County Commissioners. I'm going to pray and do the pledge. Heavenly Father, dear God, we do thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, your mercy, and your grace. And most of all, we thank you for Jesus. Dear God, we ask you to lead us and guide us. Dear God, use us. And we pray that everything that we do here would help the people in this community. And we pray, dear God, all that we do would please you and honor you. And we ask you, dear God, to lead us through this meeting and help us. And we pray that everything is done in a Christian type way. And all this in Jesus' sweet name we pray. Amen. Let's pray. We pray.
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 4 on our agenda, approve the minutes of the September 15th and the 19th meetings. Motion by Steve, second by Hiroshi. All in favor? Number 5, approve of the finances. Have a motion by Hiroshi, second by Jerry. All in favor? Number 6 is Joseph meets, discuss rural transportation. Joseph called me probably a couple of weeks ago and asked me about it, and me being on the Heart of Georgia meeting, places, I know Eastman does, and that they have a van, and that it's done through the county and the Heart of Georgia, but Joseph has got a company that if we go through the Heart of Georgia, we have to fund it, and he would come in and it would cost anybody in the county, if they pick them up in the county and carry them to the doctor's office, it's $3. And when the appointment's over and they get through, they call them back, they come back, pick them up and carry them home, it's $3. And that's all that the person pays. If they have to carry them actually to a doctor, then it's $3 in Jeff Davis, and when they cross the Happy County line, there's another $3. And they can carry them all the way to the end of the Happy County line, and there's no more. But then if they cross over into another county, there's $3 more in each county. Mr. Joseph, if you would you stand up and explain it to everybody?
Commissioners, thank y'all for seeing me tonight. My name is Joseph Meeks. I'm the CEO of a company called Georgia Patco Company. It stands for Georgia Public Assistance Transportation Company, Inc. Which is better to say Georgia Patco. We've been in this business since 1988, so we're not a fly-by-night company. Just like Mr. Hall said, the 5311 program, the actual transportation part of it was implemented, I want to say around 97 or 98. We did the first pilot program in the southern region in Mitchell County around 95 or 96. State saw that it was a good program and decided to implement it. This is the first year that GDOT is allowing a nonprofit organization to go in and request funds to do the transportation. The one thing we had to offer that the regional commission cannot is we're able to borrow money where the regional commission cannot. So what we do, we offset the cost to the county. We pay the 10% match money, so it doesn't come out of the county's pocket. It's basically simply like Mr. Hall said, the transportation, the trip has to originate in your county. We'll take you anywhere in the state of Georgia, anywhere. But every time you cross over county line, you add $3 more for the trip. Of course, I'm sure some of the questions were, if that's as cheap as it is, how are y'all making money? Well, we get our funds offset from the Federal Transportation Administrator. It's a great program. We've got 6 counties south of y'all that just signed up and go on board with us. If this goes through, the program will start July 1 of 17 and run until June 30th of 18. At the end of that time frame, we'll come back in the following year if y'all are happy with the service. Ask for y'all's blessing again to sign off that the county does not want to do it themselves, and keep on running from there.
And that'll be one employee for, or maybe two vans, if you get two vans, we
We're
have.
requesting 2 vans for Jeff Davis County. Realistically, with GDOT, we'll probably get 1 van, but doesn't hurt to ask for 2. And usually it takes a year for the program to build itself up, so people, word of mouth gets out about the program. The vans are ADA equipped, so nobody will be left at the wayside if they need a ride. No, our vans aren't stretcher equipped, but they're wheelchair lifts, so on and so forth.
I'll tell you on one thing, and I asked him personally when he called me, and then Gary and I met with him. He drove up the next day. Like the problem we having with the hospital when they dismiss somebody for the nursing home in Lumber City, that person was able to, get on the ramp that he said if they handicap equipped, then they can pick them up, and it would only be a $6 charge to carry it to the nursing home in Lumber City. And he said, and I didn't, when I first heard the 5311, I thought it was mostly for medical, but I think that you told us y'all had a lawyer that, or a judge or something that y'all.
Yeah. We've got a doctor over in Brantley County that uses it just to go to the airport. So any citizen in the county,
Jacksonville, right?
in
They
Jacksonville,
carry it to the airport.
any citizen in the county can use this service
To go anywhere
to go anywhere in the state
for any reason.
for any reason.
It's not taking you to call it to go to the company, you have to take you to work, Brad.
I tell you.
It'd be cheaper for me to drive.
I've been up here to Hayfield and run the golf course, I get $3 anyway, every month. Try to get it done.
But again, it's a great service. It's something I think the county would benefit from at no liability to the county. And again, we're the only company, I think, that's approached the county about bringing it to your area.
Now, what would your response time? Let's just say that you carry me to the doctor.
It's not on demand. You have to schedule the appointment. You have to call in and schedule an appointment. It's not a shuttle route.
I understand, but let's just say you carry me to the doctor and I'm 90 years old. And you know how doctors are, you may be there an hour, you may be there 3 hours, might be there longer. Now, I'm 90 years old, and when I get through that doctor, I'm gonna be ready to go home.
Yes, sir.
So how long before you gonna come get me?
You should have a basic, just say you have a basic scenario, say it'd be a 3-hour window. If the appointment ends sooner, pick up the phone, call. We have a van in the area, we'll come get you right away. But that allows us time where we don't say, hey, we're gonna be on the, you really can't be on the main, there's gotta be some type of set window. Again, it's not a shuttle service, so.
I mean, I understand a lot of it, I'm just thinking worst case scenario, somebody like that would really wanna get,
And stuff like
I myself could wait, but,
very rarely will you see something like that happen. Majority of calls like that's gonna be under your Department of Human Service, DHS service, Medicaid, Medicare. You'll see a lot of that. Usually the folks that's gonna use our transportation is gonna be younger individuals. If they were in their 90s, there's gonna be something set up for them through the state.
And who's doing this now for us?
We are our company, Georgia Public Assistance Transportation.
Y'all are
Company.
doing it now?
We are doing it now.
They,
Not here, they-
and, they got other counties,
No, not for us, who does?
no, we never had it.
Okay,
We never
we
had
never
it.
had it. Oh,
We
yeah.
never had this service. People's tried 2 or 3 different taxi cab services in the town, and, it hadn't worked. It's more or less, it's not really, it don't cost the county, and if we took and went through the heart of Georgia, and if we want to do it ourselves, then we would be liable if someone failed or we had to wreck and all kind of liability.
We'd also have to hire the people.
We'd have to hire the people and put them on full-time with benefits and everything else. And, so this way, it's a private company, and they are letting them step out and broaden their base. I think y'all got 7 or 8 counties over West Georgia.
What was the count last time? With RMS.
RMS, there's 25 counties. Resource Management Systems is a company that that has done this for years. I was co-owner. My name is Benji Boots. I'm Joseph's father. We formed a nonprofit. The state was approached because there's 37 counties in Georgia, for whatever the reason, has not participated or not going to participate. It's too costly for the particular community. We created the nonprofit, approached the state of Georgia, which federal law says that you can be a city, county, authority thereof, regional commissions, or nonprofit. Well, Georgia kind of pushed the nonprofit aside, and we brought it to the forefront, and then they had to go ahead with it, GDOT did. So it is public transportation. It's just, it's so small in the areas like this, you can't run a bus route where you start at Street A and you go down and it's timed. You can't do that. It's almost like a demand response. But we would prefer for them to schedule it with us, and we'll get them to their destination and get them back home safely. And it's within a window. Normally, we've done this for years. And then normally, in normal situations, it's not over an hour away. I mean, that's rare. And especially if starting out in this county, if GDOT will allow us to do 2 vehicles, we know we do it within an hour window. The more vehicles you got, naturally, more people you can cover, but
Do you say who's furnishing the vehicle?
The state actually furnishes the vehicles we ever see.
well, we have, it's partially funded.
So it don't cost the county a dime.
Zero. We pick up 10% match money, so when I say it costs the county zero, it costs the county zero. No liability whatsoever to the county. Essentially, the sign-off sheet that Mr. Hall has, it basically states us as Jeff Davis County do not want to participate ourselves in the 5311 program and support the efforts of our company to submit for the funding. That's essentially what it
The
says.
individual gonna pay you $3.
That's right.
When they get in, they
That's
don't ride them to Walmart, let them hop out.
Oh.
Or they
Yeah,
don't
we know
have
that.
that.
That was my next question.
Okay, go ahead.
And I mean, that's essentially it. I mean, you pay to get a ride. And more about the vans have 4 cameras on them, so as far as cutting down our risk of lawsuits, stuff of that nature, which has happened in the past, this eliminates that, having the cameras on it. We've got tablets, it's real time, so. And I know, I've got this at every county commissioner meeting I went to, it sounds too good to be true. And it's one of those things that does sound too good to be true, but with us paying the 10% match money, it is what it is. So,
When he called and talked with me, I told him, you gotta give me 3 or 4 days. And, so I knew Eastman used it, but then it's through the county, and they're not as happy as they thought they would be with it. And, I heard about this about 4 years ago at the Heart of Georgia meeting, and thought it would be a good thing, and, I don't remember, I think Mr. Mike might have been here at that time, but anyway, I brought it back and talked to him. Then when we looked at it and seen the liability, plus hiring 2 full-time employees, plus buying 2 vans, and then not knowing, if we was gonna get paid or what, here, we don't have to worry about it. And, so we just.
We're just basically giving them approval to
Approval
provide
to
the
do it.
service.
Right. And like you said, they're gonna come here and set up office and have a van and a person. Hope he has 2 vans and 2 people, and then he may have up to many as 4 drivers.
that's correct, and we will employ local individuals in Jeff Davis County.
If they have taken.
The only thing we have to do is provide them with a safe place, which will probably be over at EMS, to park the
The
vehicles.
van where people can't break into them and steal cameras and
That's
stuff.
how it goes.
And we talked about that and probably over at the EMS building or the 911 side, the cameras there on the sheriff department stuff and the buildings. And we talked about, that's all we got to do is have them a place for the van to park. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then most time take you about a year to get you named.
We've seen in the counties we've run in, it usually takes a year for the word to get out. And of course, Jeff Davis is one of the, and don't take this the wrong way, one of the smaller counties, so word travels a lot faster. You know, even with taking employees to y'all's factories to work, they can use that service to get a ride to work.
Some people with no driver's license.
Well, what I'd rather do, I'd rather bring it to a vote, that y'all give me permission, and then that way we can go back and it's in the minutes. So I'm gonna ask, can I get a motion that we let their company, Mr. Joseph Meeks, the company come in and do the transportation?
I'll make a motion.
I've got a motion. Steve second, all in favor?
Commissioners, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Number 7 is adopt a resolution for the Jeff Davis County Joint Comprehensive Plan. We've had about probably 5 meetings, maybe 6, and went through and done a lot of changes and a lot of different stuff with it, added, and they brought it back, had a rough drought. We looked at it, they changed a couple other things, and it all looks good now, so we're gonna have to pass it here for them to carry it to the heart of Georgia there and for it to be approved. So I'm asking for a motion that we accept. Motion by Jerry, second by Rocha, all in favor? Thank you. Number 8 is approve the administrator to accept the bids for painting the interior inside the 4-H building extension.
They've approached me several times about painting in there, and so I think we have some SPOS money we can utilize for that. And I wanted to get y'all's approval to allow me to solicit bids and have that work done.
I'll make a motion for this, solicit bids.
I have a motion by Rocha,
Second.
second by Brad, all in favor? Thank you. At this time, being it's one of the other buildings, can I talk about the 4 being already done? Or,
In the 4-H?
no, it's done in FF.
I mean, FSA, yeah.
No, it's in the-
Y'all already voted for me. to do
We
that.
got voted for him to do that, and they have done the floor. We may have to come back and put a window unit in where the computer is. They say it's heating up, but I told them let's wait for the cooler weather and see if it didn't, and then we could, put it on into next year. And so if that all works out, then it'll stay like it is. Okay, thank you. Number 9, discuss or approve the date of the referendum to be on the ballot to oppose a 1% sales tax, our SPLOST. Our SPLOST tax will run out in this fiscal year, which would be June of 2007.
It's the end of next year.
Yeah. And so,
Well, if I can say, the only, I asked, got with Christie, the only 2 dates that we can actually have a vote on is in March and November. And I don't want to wait till November to find out that we don't have it or something. We've got to plan ahead of time. So what I'm asking is for y'all to approve us and Carla to do what she has to do to get started and and our plans would be to set up a meeting with the city and get that rolling and shoot for May. Put it on the,
see, we have a new budget that he has to do in July. We need to know if it's there or not, because it makes a lot of difference.
yeah, because this will give us a chance if we have to change
The whole world
of
is different things.
Yeah, before we set the.
Says March or May.
March
March is when you vote.
Bill, right.
Right.
Yeah. And,
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and do it.
I have a motion by Jerry, got a second by Hiroshi. All in favor? Thank you. Number 10, discuss the LMIG project.
Okay, the way we've got it, because y'all went through and picked out several different roads that needed it. And we're gonna have to cut down because our budget is $614,593, and the total of roads, it's $1,192,773, so we gotta slice this basically to make it work in half. So that's gonna, I don't know if y'all looked at that.
Why don't we start with what we had on
tore all the pieces.
Well, we started with one we had on top of the fall.
Some of it.
Yeah, well,
Some of it.
How you do that? Cause each little road is just as bad as.
Just as bad as,
well, and I hadn't had a
We had
chance,
them lined now.
but,
We're gonna just have to divide equal among the districts. Cause it sure ain't that way now.
well, that, we can take, we got the LD, and then we're gonna have the TIA money, and then we got one more road, what is it? We got LD and TIA, and then Splot, T-Spot.
We got other obligations, is the problem.
Yeah, we already got other
We
obligations.
got 400,000 gotta go towards the, CDP.
Eugene on tax deal.
Yeah,
But,
I get a little nervous if we start spending money that we don't have.
No, I mean, we can get it allocated, and we don't need to be messing with it.
I mean, I think we ought to stick to what, my opinion is we ought to stick to what we've got to spend on this particular project. Because I hate to borrow from something else, and then we'd be short somewhere down the road.
We got 600 something thousand.
614.
$14,593.
And this is how much?
$1,190,273. So it's not quite,
A little bit.
yeah.
That's good.
And if y'all want to have a workshop and work on this as a separate issue, that this is something we can sit here and.
But I don't think that there's a commissioner here that sit here and tell which road is the worst in this area. I think that we need to, first of all, what I would ask out of them is that you go and draw the roads that's in your area, and then number them 1 through, if you got 5 roads in your area, number 1 through 5. If you got 2 roads in your area, number 1 and 2, which one that you, because I mean, like Brad said, every one of them needs some attention, or we wouldn't have them on there. But then if somebody had 5 miles, and then somebody else had 2 roads, one a half a mile and one a mile, then we need to turn around and let that person have the mile and the half a mile. And I can tell you, and it's not even in my area, and I'm no different than anybody else, but one out,
Kitchen landing.
the Kitchen Landing Road, that should be at the top of the list.
Well, that was the top of the
I know
list.
we did.
And then Robert had, that was the #1 road, and he based that on partially the roads and the amount of calls he gets about problems on the road too.
But I think that we all need to do what I just asked, and if everybody's in agreement to it, bring it back, let's have a workshop, and then Robert needs to be in here in that workshop.
I agree with that.
Okay, can I have a motion that we table it and do what I just requested?
Make a motion, we table this until we have a workshop to discuss it.
Have a second by Jerry, motion by Brad, all in favor? Thank you. And, Gary, we would love it once we do set up a workshop, and Robert is present at the workshop.
And on the other stuff, Gary, if there's some left over, or do you think there's gonna be some left over at them other ones, or is it all obligated on the T-Splosh and all that?
I just hate this was designed for what we're doing here, and I hate to get away from that.
Okay, well now, I'm on the state board with the T-Splosh, and there's 3 phases there, and you can get one moved from, and we in tier 2, I said phases, it's tiers, and we in tier 2 now, and we can move it to T3 over into 2, but if it wasn't put on when this tax was done in, we can't use it. But then I think 1 or 2 of these roads have been on it, and, but, yes, sir, we will.
Okay.
And I'll know when we come back.
I think that pipeline road's been on it for the last 2 or 3, me and Ray went out and measured that 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, the pipeline road, would be within the top 4 of the road, yes. Just all the pieces. Bacon County pays theirs for 7 miles to get to it, and then we got 9/10 of a mile, but we put it down as a mile and 1/10, because when it comes into Post Road, it widens out to 100 foot wide, and all, so that's why we raised it up to 1.10, 1 mile and 1/10, because we know the amount of asphalt. Okay, that's all discussion on the road. All right, number 11, discuss approve the roll-off staff collection site. This here is what I would like to bring to the board, not picking up any more of the cans, but like the Almer site that we get so much is coming from other counties, that we moved a little building out there, and they tell me that it's cut it about 15% of the weight.
Just sitting there.
Just that building sitting there with nobody in it. If we take one of these old deputy cars and park out there with it, then we'd probably be really surprised.
I mean, still come sit one out there at home.
Well, I agree with you, that would be the second place, but, anyway, we got the building out there on the Almer Highway, and I'd love, we have already voted to do this and to put people manning them, but we've never set a date or never tried to. I think we need to go forward. We got the building there, it's got brand new fence around it, we've got 6 cans there, and we need to take and start letting them get it set up to where we can, and go ahead and let people, I think we've taken some applications, am I correct?
Yeah.
We've taken some applications for people, and I'd like for us to go ahead and move forward.
What I'm asking for is approval, as soon as we get one of these sites ready, to go ahead and staff it and close it and move into what we're supposed to be doing. I don't want to wait till we can get them all set up and open and do it all at one time. I want to do them as fast as we can get to them. We're almost ready with the Alma, and I think that you're going to find that Hallsburg will have that one ready in short order. The only thing holding us up at Alma is the light pole. I don't know what's taking it so long to get, to get current out there, because we got our building set up, we got our pole, we got a meter, and we're waiting on them. And once we do that, that will be ready, and I'm for going ahead and starting the hours, and then Hallsburg be the next, and then whichever one's after that.
You say it's gonna be ready, but ain't we gonna get the concrete and all that?
Well, we
We're
could
gonna go
start
ahead.
it.
My plans are to get them closed as soon as we can, with or without concrete. We've got a bid on the concrete, but that's a big expense. If we can fence them and get people staffed there and get the buildings there and start closing them, we'll start seeing the benefit. We're over about, all right, so far in the first quarter of this new year, we spent $21,000 more
We did last year.
than we did last year. And we got, and that, you can take that money, and we could be paying for some of this, but right now, we're paying for hauling off somebody else's trash. Robert told me he had a 10-ton can the other day, where somebody came and hauled a bunch of heavy, building, where they're tearing down a building or something, anyway, it was.
I can tell you, out in my
I
area,
just want to close them as
they
fast as we
the
can.
roof off a house every week. They come there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, they charge the person $350 to dispose of asbestos shingles. They dispose of them in Jeff Davis County. And I mean, we will save enough money by the amount that
Oh, I agree with that.
they 7 counties that touches us, and we're the only one that don't have that little green can that's at Montgomery. And Montgomery only opens 3 days a week, and then we still get their stuff when they tear down the old pump house, tear a deck off a house, tear a roof off a house. And, so I would ask to put it in motion that we give Mr. Faulk the
I'll make a
authority.
motion, just get it going.
Yeah.
I second the motion. We just-
Motion by Steve, a second by the voter, all in favor. I'll raise 2 hands.
Y'all think that building, where they put that building, y'all think that's gonna work? Where they put that building, you think that's gonna work?
I guess so, we get, I mean, why would it work?
Man, I'm getting complaints, when one tries to go in and one's trying to come out, the building sitting right there in the gate. The garbage truck people, they talk about it's in the way when they swing in. for the new truck.
We'll do one. If we
If I
get it wrong, we'll
understand
do
it.
better on the second one, if that's.
If I understand what they said, they're gonna stop vehicles when they come in. When you do that, then you're gonna have cars stopping at the drive.
I don't think that's gonna be the
I
case.
don't
When they
think
come
it
in, they're
will
gonna be
be.
looking to see if their tag is from out of the county. And if it is, then they're gonna stop them,
Yeah.
turn them around, whatever.
Listen,
It'll take a little bit of time.
if
to
we
get all
made
this
some
worked
mistakes,
We
at least we done something.
mistakes, right.
We started.
But
Yeah, we gotta do
the
something.
thing about it is go ahead and get it made, and we
Yeah.
already cut it, big.
And like Gary says, if we do
This-
put the
this
building in the
stuff-
wrong place, we can pick the building up.
Yeah.
With the forklift, that big forklift, we got to move it back to 40 foot, and then just run a line from the pole they got back to the building. So I mean, let's start somewhere.
Well, we got that set up, we're gonna go with it.
That's
Let's get the man out there.
good enough.
All right.
All right.
Make it happen.
Number 12, discuss, have we got any new or old business that we need to discuss?
No.
Nothing? No,
We put that on there in case something comes up after we post the agenda, so we have a ability to discuss it if something pops up.
No
Good.
business.
Nothing, we're good today.
All right. Public comment. Have any public comment?
Mr. Sewell,
All right.
wants to talk to us a little bit about these pictures I handed out to y'all.
Good evening, gentlemen. I think here, passed some pictures. As you know, last year, we got the settlement with the hotel and we ended up getting a lump sum of 2+ years worth of motel tax at one time. Now, we have to file, or the county has to file, I prepared and bring it to the county to be signed and sent in. But the county has to file a report with DCA each year to show that the hotel tax that are collected are spent in tourism-related projects. And so when we got the 30-something thousand dollars at one time, and it was later in the year, the year ends in June, how you gonna spend 30-something thousand dollars in 2 or 3 months? So I called DCA, talked to them, explained the situation, and they told me that when we filed our return this year, that it had an addendum to it stating that, while we had the lump sum, the large increase was a lump sum that carried back over 2+ years. And then detailing what plans we had to spend that money on tourism projects. And then they would approve us to carry those funds over. There wouldn't be a problem with us carrying them over from the other year. So, we've already finished the project at the big house to finish the window treatments and do the plantation shutters on the remaining windows at the big house. That was about $10,000. When we did the first section of windows we did on those, just saved a tremendous amount of our expense in utilities and the power bill, heating and cooling that building with those. So with the remainder of those plantation shutters in place, we'll see some more savings on the utility bill. But then that's an approved, since that's used as a community center, and also kind of as more or less a welcome center. And that was an approved expenditure that we can apply as a tourism-related expense. So that still leaves us with $20-something thousand we've got to work on. We, as a board, the tourism board, we felt like the best place to spend that money was out of Towns Bluff. That's our main area, main thing to draw people into the county, our main tourism attraction here, so to speak. So we've been talking back and forth with the people at Towns Bluff, trying to figure out what would be for their best benefit, what could help them enhance their product there more. And what we came up with, we talked several different things. They're called yurts. That's what you've got a picture of. They're real popular in the state parks, especially in North Georgia. There's a whole section, a whole new term that's come out called glamping, glamour camping. And people want to get out, that live in the city and other places, want to get out and be, in nature, but they don't want to have a tent, sleep on the ground, and a sleeping bag. So
They want to rough it, but not really.
they want to rough it in style.
Do these come with a big screen TV?
They don't come with them, but you can certainly put them in there. But those come as a kit. They have a wood latticework frame. They come in the kit. The walls and the top are canvas with 10 to 15 year warranties on the canvas. They have solid doors, solid windows. And the state park, the state has put them in about all of their state parks. They started north, they're working down. And those things stay sold out, stay booked up at the state park. So they're charging $75 and $80 a night up there. Now, we won't be able to charge that, obviously, probably down here.
What do you think?
You know, we could, yeah, they would pay for them over time, but, probably, you know, you could sleep up to, the ones that we're looking at are 20-foot diameter, which you could sleep 6, you know, have a queen-size bed and a couple set of bunk beds in there for families with kids.
They don't have bathroom.
Do not have bathroom. But we got the bathhouse there at the
Right,
campground.
right.
So you already got bathroom facilities there. You got electricity and water that we can draw from out of the campground facility, to get power and water to them. The 20-foot, just the basic 20-foot yurt is about $7,900 for the kit. For our use here, probably we need to add a few options to that. They come with 2 windows. Because of the climate that we have here, you probably need to add a 4th window, so you've got cross ventilation. The doors are solid door, but you can either have a screen door, or they have the drop screen that's got the magnets, so when they clap together, you can do one of the other, so you've got 4-way ventilation through them. Probably need to install a ceiling fan in them. They do have a way that you can vent the top, and so let heat escape through the top when the weather's nice, and close it up when it's raining. Using it in the campground area where there'll be a lot of shade, that'll help, you know, maintain the climate in it. So, I figured, just roughly figuring with the options that we would need to add to them, we're probably looking around $8,500, $8,600 per unit, more or less, to get one of these done. That's for the kit, the unit, getting it in here. Doesn't it come with the base? So, you know, whether it can either be set on concrete or a wood deck. So that would be an expense. And then, of course, you've got to have some furniture in it, some beds and maybe a table of chairs, things like that. And the furniture you put in, you want it rustic. You don't want it, you know, good high dollar living room furniture. You want it rustic type furniture for camping. Natalie, what would y'all think that you'd charge rent on those?
I would say at least 50 or 60 night. The rentals we have now are 45 a night, and those sell out pretty well. So yours it's a lot nicer than the rental. So I would say at least 50, maybe 60, kind of dependent. We might could adjust that over the years depending on how popular it is.
The rental you have now, though, is air conditioning, right?
It is, but they have got a lot of wear and tear going on right now. I would say we could start replacing the rentals with the yurts, just because they do require a lot of maintenance, because there's a lot more parts with them and they're getting older.
Do you think people would rent this as well as rent something with air conditioning?
I believe so.
And you
During
could,
the hunt season, we get $70.
I mean, and you could put a small air conditioning unit.
$70 a night.
Yeah.
You could put a small.
I'm just saying, me, I gotta have.
I gotta have air. I'm like you. I gotta have
I
air.
gotta have some air.
If you don't rub it, you don't supposed to have
That's
there.
right. We shouldn't talk about rubbing.
But you're talking the temperature out there, once you're under the trees, now it's fairly moderate, except during the hard
July.
July, August months, so.
I look at these,
You won't know sleeping outside.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will stay for.
I don't think Brad will be spending any money on it.
But, yeah, I think Mary and I was looking at that's something we can do, and that's what y'all want to do, I'll do with.
Well, our board voted to approve $20,000, for this project. That would get us, two yurts in here, with, a little extra that. What we would, hopefully be able to get some help from the county from is site prep, and get there, that. I think, and Nat and I talked about it, we think probably more maintenance free if you went with a concrete base.
Yeah.
Instead of the wood deck would look nicer, but a concrete base would be, a lot more sturdy, a lot less maintenance involved.
Probably cheaper too.
Wood shop, yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
be less expensive.
You ain't looking at.
So, one thing, of course, we need y'all's permission to go forward, since it's, it's a county operation out there. We'll have to also give the DNR, make sure I don't think there's a problem with them.
Are you thinking about going on the back side of the campgrounds where the RV stays now and take up like 2 of the spots and put 3 of them on 2 spots?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, we're,
general?
yeah, we're trying to survey them and see which one will be best and which one has a good tree cover and which one, even if we didn't put it on a site, we have some other sites in which we might could run power to that isn't directly in the campground, but by it.
Yeah, try to get it where we utilize the most shade.
Or do you think that by putting the concrete foundation and set it on and it and everything, that probably you could get 3 of them and the $30,000 recovered?
Well, we voted, the vote voted to 20. We voted to approve 20. And, you know, we still got some money in reserves there that, if, you know, if it proves successful, we'd probably come back and look more with them to do another one. But, you know, to help us out, if, you know, if the county can help us out, get the base in and get, you know, site prep forward if we need some help there. That way we can have the extra money we got applied to do the furnishing and the, you know, the getting them dressed up, ready to go. So,
Yeah, when you said the base and all, like, if we're gonna put the concrete, that if you need some field dirt.
fill dirt, site prep.
Yeah, site left and level off. Okay.
Right, if we need trench cut, if we need to run water, power line, get a trench cut to run that in, things like that.
You don't think these would do better if they right on the river bank, overlooking the river?
Well, we talked about that, of course, you know, you gotta consider flooding. You don't wanna put it down there where it could possibly flood it. And then you wanna keep them closer to the bathroom facility.
Right.
You don't want, you know, if you put them down there close to the river, they gotta hike up there to the campground to the bathroom, so. I think folks will be closer to the bathroom than down at the river. They look really nice down there. That's-
Yeah, the ones that I saw, were on the lake.
Right.
At the state park.
Natalie, has it come up to the building since you've been there? It hasn't.
The beginning of the year, when we had that big flood, it stopped where the rocks are in front
Yeah,
of the building.
it stopped
didn't
there
touch
where the
the
cross
building.
ties was on the backside of the
Yeah.
rocks, but
Yeah.
I have seen it before, all the way up and around the building
Yeah,
and all. So what Steve said would be nice, people would love it, but now it'd be underwater.
I
What
was
we
gonna
talked
say,
about.
what with
Those
those,
that I saw, they like that right there, they up on.
Build
Yeah,
them
well-
up on stilts like
Yeah.
they do a house across.
I mean, I don't know if I would wanna try one down there, because people might choose it other than, because most people going outdoor, they won't be in, what they.
But if we put one down there, it's gonna be to the place that they go to the restroom or take a shower. It ain't quite far here to the post office, but about 2:30.
It's uphill
A
too.
lot of them take portable,
Pretty
when they
good.
count, they take their portable, what they do.
I did have them, and they think there's a chance that here, their dog might be in by the end of the year. And he said, don't get excited.
But the deal, would y'all pour cement on out in front where you'd have like a patio?
We'll definitely want to, you know, expand the base where there, you know, you can have a little porch area, patio area out around it. Of course, you know, you got the fire rings that you use out there and they'll bring grills or, you know, you need a probably outdoor picnic table like have at the regular campsite. So you dress it up similar to the way the campsites are.
Well, that's good, you know?
And I think it'd be a big enhancement to the park, you know, draw more people in, you know, for a different experience other than having a campus.
Split two, if y'all afford it, we'll put 3.
We don't need
Oh,
to spend that money that year.
Yeah, just pass, if y'all are good with it,
We good with it.
we'll proceed, then they'll contact DNR, make sure they're
If you
good.
can't find anything else, do the $30,000, break it.
I'll call you. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You go with it.
All right, anything else in public comments?
I've got some. On the, back up to item number 10, LME,
Uh-huh,
I heard Gary say we had 614,000.
$593.
Okay, this report I got, and I assume it's current, says 406,691.04.
This is the money that's coming in for next year.
This is
Yeah, we
talking
don't-
about now we're gonna spend next year.
17.
How do you
Besides, that may not
know?
include the match funds either. The number I'm using includes what we have to match.
So this 614,000 is a projected amount.
No, that's the
No,
bill.
that's the balance in the account.
Okay, I don't understand.
This LMIG that they're talking about now is for next year.
Okay, so the 406,691 is this year's money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's cool.
Yeah, I got
Oh, go ahead.
Too late, sorry.
I don't really have to tell the whole council, I can just tell you, Gary. There's some misunderstanding, I think, about the city-county fueling station. Just to give you a history of it, that when it was established, the city paid half of it, the county paid half of it, the city got put up the fence around it, and we agreed to pay our fuel, y'all paid your fuel, and then any repairs done out there was shared 50-50. So I told Gary the other day that I would go to council and ask them about the city paying half of his plans to upgrade the computer system for a little over $24,000.
Right.
Well, your current bid.
Right.
And they authorized me to tell you that we were gonna pay half of it, because it's half ours.
You have a check with you?
I don't have the check, but we're gonna approve it, we're gonna approve it Thursday night's meeting.
That sounds good.
Right.
All right, everything
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Carter.
we just been, appreciate it.
Today was a good day.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
adjourn.
Get the gavel.
See you tomorrow. Oh, you don't.
I'm gonna be okay tomorrow, right?
Let's see. Steve?
Sounds like a great idea.
Is that right? Yeah.